Hi guys, today we're going to learn a new topic in geometry, finding area of right triangles, trapezoids and parallelograms. So here are some shapes that you could recognize. We could call this a right triangle, right triangle. I want you guys to notice the little box that's here. That's a 90-degree angle, and it's also, this is my height and this is my base. So this is what I'm going to do to all these shapes. I'm going to name them. This is called a parallelogram. This is the base and this is the height. Height always makes a 90-degree angle with the base. Height always makes a 90-degree angle with the base. In this case, this is a triangle. This is my base and this is my height. Why? Because this is going to make a 90-degree angle with the base. This is a rectangle, so this is the height and this is the base, and it automatically makes the 90-degree angle. And this is a trapezoid. It's a rectangle, but little triangles been cut off the side, so it has this weird shape. So basically it's a rectangle but slightly angled on top. It's smaller. So this is going to be my base 1, this is going to be my base 2, and this is going to be the height. This could be the height too because it's the same length, same distance from base 1 to base 2, and also it makes a 90-degree angle. Where does it make a 90-degree angle? Here, right here. Alright, so since we know our shapes now, let's quickly jump into the finding of the areas. Alright, so this is the formula to find the area of a right triangle. Height times base divided by 2. It's the height and this is the base. Notice the 90-degree angle, it has to have that because that's what a right triangle has. So 8 times 15, and then divide that by 2. So I'm going to get 60 feet squared. Alright, so we have a right triangle here. Height times base, area is equal to, divided by 2. Okay, the height and the base is 17 and 7/10 times 11 and 4/10. That's going to give me 201 and 78 tenths. But we're not done. We have to divide this by 2. It's going to give me 189 centimeters squared. So what's the height, what's the base in this triangle? The height and the base could be anything. This could be the height, this could be the base, or this could be the base, this could be the height. Why? Because they both make this 90-degree angle, and that's all we care about because this is a right triangle. Okay, so area is equal to height times base divided by 2 equal to height times base is equal to 24 inches squared. If you did not put the inches squared, it would make it an area. It's just going to be a number. Alright, so we have a right triangle with two fractional lengths, height and base. But we know how to multiply fractions, so it won't be a problem. Let's see. We have area is equal to height times base divided by 2. So my height here is 5 3/5 multiplied by base is 8 2/3. All this I have to divide by 2. before I divide by 2, I have to do the multiplication. So let's do that. I have to convert into improper fractions. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 3 is 28 divided by 5 times 8 times 3 is 24 to 26 over 3. So if I multiply this, can I simplify? No, I can't, so I have to multiply. So if I multiply 28 times 26, I'm going to get 728 over 15. So I have to simplify this, but before I simplify, I can start to divide. So 728 over 15 divide by 2. So I'm going to do my keep change, multiply by the reciprocal, and get 728 divided by 15 multiplied by the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. Now this you can simplify, and you are going to get the area of, if I simplify these two, I'm going to get 364 over 15, and these ones cancel out. If I divide this, I'm going to get 24 and 4/15, and my measurements are meters squared, so that is the area of this tiny triangle. Okay, moving on. This one plus base 2, divide this by 2 and multiply by the height. So area is always, you have to multiply something, and that something is always going to be the height of any figure. Okay, that's why the height is given specifically here. H is equal to 5 centimeters. Okay, let's do this quickly. My base 1 is 9 plus base 2 is 11. Add these two and divide by 2 and multiply by 5. So let's do this in groups, order of operations. 9 plus 11 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50, and 50 centimeters squared is the area of this trapezoid. Okay, let's quickly do another. This is a fractional one. You have to add fractions. So let's add some fractions. I'm not sure if you know this, but let's do some practice. 4 and 2/3 plus 6 and 1/4. When you add these two, you gotta divide it and multiply it by 7. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit of a decimal problem, but don't worry, we're not scared of decimals or fractions. Okay, all right, so let's add these two. 4 and 2/3 plus 6 and 1/4 is going to give me, I'm going to add these two first because they are whole numbers, so it's 10. And then in a separate parentheses, brackets, I'm going to add 2/3 plus 1/4. Then I'm going to get common denominators. I have to have common denominators when adding fractions. So this is going to be, my common denominator would be 12. So I'm going to put 12 and 12. Now I want to figure out, how did 3 become 12? Let me get a different color. How did 3 become 12? I multiplied by 4. So I have to multiply the top by 4. So I have 8 over here. Now same thing here. How did 4 become 12? I multiplied by 3. So I have to multiply the top by 3, and I'm going to get 3. Now I have the two fractions. These two are equivalent to this and this. Okay. So let's get a different color and simplify this. So I have 8 plus 3 is 11, and I do not add these, it just stays the same, 12. Okay, so now I have 10 and 11/12 as this addition part. I'm not done. I have to divide this by 2 and then multiply by 7. So 2 more steps remaining to go. So let's convert this into an improper fraction, because now I have to divide by 2. And 10 times 12 is 120, plus 11 is going to give me 131 over 12 divided by 2. Do the keep, change, multiply by the reciprocal method. I'm going to get 131 divided by 12 times the fraction of 1/2. If I simplify this, I'm going to get 131 divided by 24, because I can't simplify. I'm going to get 5 and 4/5 as the addition and division part of this. Now I have to multiply this by the height, which is 7, equals to 38 and 2/10 feet squared. Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 multiply by the height. Alright, moving on to the next one. This is a parallelogram. A parallelogram means this side is parallel to this and this side is parallel to this side. So it's basically another rectangle. If you add this little triangle here, you'll see that's basically a rectangle. So what this part is, this is my height. So if I want to find the area of a rectangle, I would multiply height times base. And this is the same thing for a parallelogram. I have to multiply height times base. Alright, so let's figure out. My base is 6 meters. My height is 7 meters. If it's not given, make sure you have to read the question carefully and see if the height is mentioned somewhere. Now height and base always makes that 90-degree angle. In this case it's missing here, so I'm just going to add it. Okay. Alright, so 6 times 7 is 42, and 42 feet squared is my area for this parallelogram. Quickly, let's do some other problems. Here I'm going to take a different color. The height and the base. The height is 4 centimeters. The base is 6 centimeters. So it's going to be 24 centimeters squared. A different color. Height is 8 centimeters. Base is 25 centimeters. It's 200 meters squared. Sorry, I said 8 centimeters. It is 8 meters. Alright, the next one, a different color. I'm getting my base as 12 feet and my height is 7 feet. When I multiply, I'm going to get 84 feet squared. And that's the area. Parallelogram is easier. Trapezoid is a little bit tricky, but it's just you add the two bases and multiply by the height divided by 2. Okay? Alright, so let's see. And that's the end for today's lesson. You have a Kahoot. Please make sure you watch this video in full. See you guys soon.